it's Emma here from Women's Health and Hormones. Today I'm talking about progesterone deficiency. In particular, I want to discuss effective ways to improve progesterone deficiency. The first thing you might be wondering is, well, what is progesterone deficiency? Do I have progesterone deficiency? I want to tell you a bit more about progesterone. Progesterone is a really important hormone for women. It's produced primarily from the corpus luteum, which is what's left over of the follicle after the egg's released. So for that very reason, progesterone levels are much higher for women of childbearing age as compared to women who are postmenopausal. For postmenopausal, it's actually very normal to have low progesterone levels. Progesterone levels are very much compromised and impacted by breastfeeding as well. Progesterone and prolactin work on a seesaw. Prolactin's the breastfeeding hormone. So when prolactin levels are high, progesterone levels are low. So again, it's normal for women who are breastfeeding to have lower progesterone levels. There are so many impacts that low progesterone can have for women who aren't in these two groups. It's definitely a feel-good hormone for women. So if you're suffering from low progesterone, it can have a significant impact on your mood and your emotional well-being. It's a really important hormone for female fertility as well. So if you're finding that it's taking you a long time to conceive, or if you have a history of recurrent miscarriages, it's really important to have a look at what's going on with your progesterone levels, because low progesterone can be a cause for both of these. There are other potential causes as well, which may need to be assessed and evaluated, but low progesterone is one of the causes. The first step in identifying whether you might have low progesterone is to take the hormone breakthrough quiz. This is a 3-minute short quiz that will give you an indicator as to what could be the leading cause of hormonal imbalance for you and your body. The URL to find the quiz is www.balanceHormones.com.au/blog/quiz. If you click on the link and you follow the instructions, it'll take you about 3 minutes to complete the quiz, and that will give you an indicator as to what's going on with your hormonal levels. It's certainly not a preclusion for hormone testing though. If you want to back the information that you receive in the quiz up with some more thorough explanation of what's going on in your body, it's important to get your hormones tested. Saliva hormone testing is a great way to measure progesterone levels, particularly low progesterone levels. If we're assessing progesterone levels, it's important to collect a saliva sample at the correct time. It needs to be collected between days 18 and day 21 of the menstrual cycle. Blood work can also assess progesterone levels, and in this case, progesterone is best checked on day 21 of the cycle for blood work. The reason that we choose this very specific timing for sample collection is that progesterone production peaks in the luteal phase of the cycle, which is the second half of the cycle after ovulation. If you've had the hormone testing done and you want to get a better idea of how it could be impacting your menstrual cycle, I also recommend you start charting your cycle. For women who have low progesterone levels, it's very common for the cycle length to be short. So if you're a woman who knows that your cycle length is not that typical 28-day cycle, but you're experiencing a shorter cycle, like a 21-day cycle, 22, 24-day cycle, it's highly likely that you have low progesterone. The reason for this is that if the cycle length is short, it means it's really hard for the body to produce enough progesterone. You need to have a minimum cycle of around 21 days in order for your progesterone, or at least 10 days post-ovulation, in order for your body to have the best opportunity to produce enough progesterone. So low or short cycle length is another indicator of low progesterone levels. If you're also suffering from premenstrual symptoms, or you have any symptom that you either experience all cycle, but it gets worse premenstrually, or that only onsets in the premenstrual phase, it's also an indicator that you might have low progesterone levels. And again, hormone testing is the best way to conclusively find out whether that's the case. So once you've investigated what's going on with your hormonal levels and you know that you do have progesterone deficiency, the next question is, well, what are some effective ways to fix this? How can I improve progesterone deficiency using natural medicine? The first step here is figuring out whether you are actually ovulating. It's possible to have an anovulous cycle, which means that you might still have a 28-day cycle, but you might not be ovulating. And this is very common for women in the perimenopausal phase or in early adolescence, shortly after menarche, when the cycles are still the hormones are still balancing and the cycles are still trying to become regular. So anovulous cycles at both stages of a woman's reproductive life can occur. If you're not ovulating, then of course you're not releasing an egg from the from the follicle, which means that progesterone production from the corpus luteum is negligible. It's very minimal in comparison to the amount of progesterone that you would be producing if you were having an ovulatory cycle. So we want to find out if you're ovulating. And if you've had the hormone test done, that'll tell us definitively whether you actually ovulated that cycle. And both blood work and saliva hormone test can tell us that. If you're not ovulating, it's really important to work on triggering ovulation. And there are some herbs that can be used for that purpose. But it's also beneficial to try and make sure that your eggs are as healthy as possible. By ensuring healthy egg production, it means that it's much more likely your body's actually going to ovulate. Some other triggers that can block ovulation include thyroid hormone dysfunction and stress. So if you know you're not ovulating, it's important to go and get a thyroid hormone test done to figure out whether a dysfunction in thyroid hormone production is blocking ovulation. But it's also common for anovulous cycles or ovulation blocks to occur just from stress in general. And that could be physical stress or emotional stress. A lot of women find when they're traveling, because that's a change in the lifestyle that causes some stress on the physical body, that they stop ovulating. So you want to just be mindful of that if you're traveling. That could be a possible cause. If you're experiencing external stress in your life as well, and that could be emotional stress, that can definitely have an impact on ovulation. So do the best job that you can to address any external stress. Sometimes counselling can be really helpful if there are things happening in your life that you're struggling to manage. But doing the best job to take care of your health is very important too. Practicing self-care is one of the best ways to manage your stress levels, to reduce the impact of stress on both your hormones and your general health. Exercise is fantastic. Make sure you're doing some walking every day if you can. Like, even if the most that you can do is just a 20-minute brisk walk every day, it's a great way to help your body metabolize and burn up stress hormones. Practicing meditation techniques, relaxation techniques, breathing techniques can also help to induce the relaxation response in the body, which can counteract the impact of any stress that you're experiencing. I also love bodywork techniques like reflexology, massages, facials. We know that all of these techniques can help to induce the relaxation response. And remember, anything that makes you feel good and helps your mind switch off from stress in your life will help to improve your body's stress response. Some people love hobbies like craft or knitting, painting. Other people love playing with their pets. Some people love, just watching the sunset. Anything that you know gets you back in the present moment and switches off that active mind that's continually worrying or churning over events that have occurred. Very, very helpful for helping to manage your stress levels. Fantastic for just improving your quality of life and your enjoyment of life anyway. Optimizing nutrient status is important for both healthy egg production, but also healthy hormonal production. Two really important key macronutrients for supporting progesterone production are protein and cholesterol. So if you know that you have low progesterone, it's really important that you don't go into a low-fat diet. Cholesterol is a precursor nutrient for progesterone production. So we want to make sure that you're including cholesterol in your diet from clean sources. Cholesterol is predominantly found in foods that come from animals. So your meat products, dairy products are good examples there. But we also know that cholesterol, because it's a saturated fat that's coming from those food sources, it can be impacted by exposure, your dietary exposure to xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are frequently found in herbicides and pesticides, and if the animals that are producing the cholesterol-containing foods that you're consuming have eaten herbicides and pesticides, those xenoestrogens will get trapped in saturated fat molecules. And it's really hard to completely eliminate saturated fat from animal foods. In actual fact, you don't want to, because that's where the cholesterol is. You just need to make sure that the animal fats that you consume are certified organic if you possibly can, as much as possible in any case. Even if you can't do it all the time, try and make sure the majority of the foods that you're consuming from animal sources are certified organic. It's really easy to get certified organic eggs and certified organic butter and some dairy products from the supermarket these days. Just your normal supermarket stock them. You might need to go to a more specialized supplier to get certified organic chicken and certified organic other meat products, but it's well worth the effort. If you have to choose between having certified organic fruits and vegetables or certified organic foods from animal sources, definitely choose those animal foods first, make that your priority, and then go on and have certified organic vegetable foods if you can. At least with fruits and vegetables, you can wash them, you can peel them. There's things that you can do that will help to reduce the herbicide and pesticide residue, or it's just not possible to do that with animal-containing foods. If you're a vegetarian, you want to make sure that you're including or vegan, you want to make sure that you're including some coconut products in your diet. And again, those coconut products need to be certified organic. If you're vegetarian and you eat eggs and dairy products, then of course you're going to be getting the cholesterol through those food sources too. You don't have to eat meat. But for vegans, you've got to include the coconut products in your diet. And also other protein-containing foods to make sure that you're having enough protein. So legumes and nuts and seeds are important in that situation. Other nutrients that we know are essential for healthy progesterone production are the B vitamins and also zinc. Zinc-containing foods, pepitas, pumpkin seeds are a really great zinc-containing food, legumes. Shellfish can be a good zinc-containing food as well, but just remember shellfish are quite high in ocean toxins as well. So I'd choose those for special occasions or have those as a sometimes food rather than an everyday food. And the animal-containing foods are also a good source of zinc. So you're already going to be including those in your diet if you're not vegetarian or vegan for the cholesterol. So you're going to be getting some zinc from those foods as well. B vitamins are in our whole grains. So if you have low progesterone, it's important that you don't go grain-free. Whole grains are grains that still include that outer husk. So the B vitamins are contained in the outer husk of the grain. A good comparison here is the difference between white rice and brown rice. White rice has had that outer husk removed, which means it's a low B vitamin containing food. Whereas brown rice still contains that outer husk, which means it's a much better source of B vitamins. So for your B vitamins, whole grains are a great food to include. Other whole grains that you might consider are grains like amaranth, spelt, buckwheat, and even wheat. Whole grain wheat contains a good source of B vitamins as well, but you just want to make sure that you can tolerate wheat products. A lot of women with a hormonal imbalance find that wheat products are more difficult to digest. So that just depends on your own idiosyncratic reaction there as to whether you can tolerate wheat-based products. But I would definitely recommend not going on a grain-free diet if you have low progesterone. There are some herbs that are great for supporting progesterone production as well. The most common ones that we're aware of are chaste tree or Vitex agnus castus, white peony, which is a Chinese herb, and also tribulus, which is an Indian herb. So each of these herbs can be beneficial for women with low progesterone, depending on what the cause is of your low progesterone and what symptoms you're experiencing as a result of the low progesterone. The best suggestion here really is to contact a herbalist who can help to prescribe the correct herb for your body in the correct dosage so that you get the benefits that you're looking for. But each of those herbs can be really beneficial. If you have any other questions about low progesterone, make sure you get in touch with me and let me know. Thanks so much for listening, and bye for now.